The Nexus Station bustled with the usual interstellar commerce, a melting pot of species from across the galaxy conducting business in the neutral zone. Vendors hawked exotic wares while diplomats negotiated trade routes, their conversations, creating a symphony of clicks, whistles, and harmonics that had become the station's trademark ambience. In the shadows of Level 7's entertainment district, something else was hunting. The creature had no name in any civilized tongue. Those who encountered it rarely lived to describe it, and those who did spoke only of shadow and teeth, of something that moved like liquid darkness and struck with the precision of evolution's cruelest joke. It was a Vorthic, though even that designation was whispered rather than spoken, a species that had transcended traditional predation to become something approaching art, standing nearly 3 meters tall when fully extended. Its form shifted between states of matter as needed. Solid when it needed to strike, gaseous when it needed to hide, liquid when it needed to flow through the station's ventilation systems. Its intelligence was cold and calculating, evolved specifically for the hunt. It had been stalking the outer RIM territories for decades, picking off isolated ships and remote colonies with methodical precision. The Nexus Station represented a feast beyond its wildest calculations. The Vorthic materialized in its preferred hunting form, tall, angular, with limbs that seemed to bend in directions that hurt to observe. Its sensory organs, resembling clusters of black pearls, scanned the crowd methodically. Each species presented different challenges, different flavors of fear and desperation that it had learned to savor over the centuries. The Xylanthi merchants huddled in their environmental suits, their crystalline bodies refracting the station's artificial light. Easy prey, fragile, slow, and predictably congregating in groups. Their fear would taste of copper and ozone. The Corthinian traders swayed on their multiple legs, their compound eyes creating a kaleidoscope of reflected images. Slightly more challenging with their enhanced reflexes, but their herd mentality made them vulnerable to panic. Their terror would be sweet, like fermented fruit. The Aquan delegates glided through their mobile water tanks, graceful and serene. The Vorthics. Tendrils twitched with anticipation. Aquans were rare this far from their homeworld, and their fear carried the unique taste of drowning in air. But then its sensory organs locked onto something that made its entire form recoil instinctively. Human. The creature froze. Its hunting instincts warring with something deeper, something that had been carved into its genetic memory through encounters spanning millennia. The human sat alone at a small cafe table, seemingly unaware of the predator's presence. He appeared utterly ordinary, average height, brown hair, wearing the standard issue clothing of a cargo freighter crew member. Nothing about his physical appearance suggested any special threat. Yet every fiber of the Vortex being screamed danger. The human Marcus Chun, according to the identification beacon his species carried, took a sip of his coffee and glanced around the station with casual interest. His eyes passed over the Vortex position without pause, showing no sign of recognition or concern. He seemed relaxed, even bored, just another spacer killing time between runs. The Vortex ancient memory stirred, dredging up fragments of encounters its species had tried to forget. Humans were newcomers to the galactic stage, having achieved faster-than-light travel only recently. They possessed no natural armor, no enhanced strength, no psychic abilities or advanced technology that other species couldn't match or exceed. By every logical measure, they should have been ideal prey. Instead, they had become something else entirely. The first recorded encounter had been on a mining colony in the Kepler system. A single human security officer, cornered and apparently helpless, had somehow managed to kill 3 Vorthic hunters using nothing but mining equipment and what his species called improvised tactics. The survivors' reports had been dismissed as exaggeration. The second encounter occurred during a deep space ambush. The Vorthic pack had disabled a human exploration vessel, confident in their ability to harvest the crew at leisure. Instead, the humans had turned their dying ship into a weapon, ramming it into the Vorthic vessel while screaming something about "Remember the Alamo," a reference no xenobiologist had ever successfully decoded. More encounters followed, each adding to a growing legend among the Vorthek. Humans didn't just fight back. They fought in ways that defied understanding. They used their weaknesses as strengths, turned their limitations into advantages, and displayed a level of tactical creativity that bordered on insanity. Worse, they never seemed to give up. The human at the cafe table finished his coffee and checked a small device on his wrist. He stood, stretched casually, and began walking toward the market district. His movements were unhurried, purposeful, carrying the confidence of someone who belonged wherever he chose to go. The Vorthik found itself backing deeper into the shadows. Its rational mind insisted this was ridiculous. One human, alone and unaware, should be easy prey. Its species had evolved to hunt creatures far more dangerous than this unremarkable biped. The station's security systems could be bypassed, the human isolated and eliminated before anyone noticed. But something in the way the human moved, the easy confidence of his posture, triggered every survival instinct the Vorthik possessed. This wasn't just another prey animal wandering through its territory. This was something that had clawed its way up from a death world, had survived ice ages and plagues and wars that would have extinguished any other species, had looked at the vast darkness between stars and decided to make it their home. As the human disappeared into the crowd, the Vorthik made a decision that would have bewildered its younger self. It began moving toward the docking bays, abandoning the hunt entirely. The Nexus station would have to wait for a different predator. Behind it, Marcus Chen paused at a market stall, completely unaware of the creature that had been stalking the station's inhabitants. He purchased a small gift for his daughter back on Earth, a crystalline sculpture that caught the light beautifully, and continued on his way, humming an old song from his homeworld. In the shadows, other predators watched and learned, adding another entry to humanity's growing reputation, the species that even nightmares feared to face.